So you open up Stellaris and you don't know what to do. I get it. The game's pretty hard. There's too many things to do and you just don't know what to do. So when you open up Stellaris, this is what the game looks like. You have your first basic options. Your new game, multiplayer load, credit settings, and exit. Pretty straightforward. Now when you want to start off a game, you want to click on New Game. Now these are some of the empires that I've created and that I could use. Now this is where you get to choose your empires. Now over here, these are some of the empires that have already been made in the game for you. I would always suggest for someone who's brand new into the game, they can always go with the United Nations of Earth. They're a really good empire that's starting, really easy to understand what's going on. But let's say you want to know how to make your own empire that you like. So we would start off with Create New. Over here, you click Select. And now over here, this is where you get to decide all of the nitty-gritty parts of what your empire should be like. So starting off with the first section, our Species tab, we're going to look at the appearance. So we want to select the appearance of our empire. Now, this is where our appearance is. This is our ruler. So it kind of tells us exactly what our ruler would look like. Now, you can go through all these different tabs and look at all the different kinds of aliens or xenomorphs and see which kind of alien you like the most that, it looks kind of cool. So, if you look over here, we have these kind of blanked out, hashed out, kind of colored out. And these ones just indicate that if you have the DLC for or for not. And then on the right side here, you can see which DLCs you have and which DLCs you do not have. Now remember, the base game comes with a lot of interesting aliens that you could choose from. So for example, let's say I like these ones, and I chose that. You click on Next to move on to the next thing that you like to do. Next one is your species name. It's pretty straightforward. You can choose a name if you want to name them whatever you want. You can randomize it. It'll choose something. Biography. You don't have to write anything into it, but if it's there, it's there. Your names list. This is a really good one. Now over here, you get to choose from already pre-made names, and you can choose your prefix. So prefix, for example, a lot of ships in a lot of military navies have their own names. In this case, ISS is the prefix, so before every single name, in this case, ISS Peric, those kind of stuff. You can go through, see which one you like, which one kind of speaks out to you, whichever feels more comfortable for you. Like these, you can see these great names. If they're interesting to you, you can choose those. You can change your prefix, whatever you like. Traits. Now, traits is a very interesting one. It's the traits that are given to your species, meaning that if you hover over these, they show you your species, what they can gain from them. So, for example, Agrarian. These species have a deep connection to the land and make expert farmers and gardeners, which means that your population will, your workers that work in the food industry or your food districts would give an additional plus 15%. Now, you can see on the right side there's these numbers that are in red, 2, but when you look over, you'll start seeing these numbers in green. So it's very straightforward. Over here we have our trait points and our trait picks. So it's very straightforward. When you choose something, let's say we choose adaptive, it takes away your trait points and it removes one of your trait picks. So basically you can choose 5 traits that you can pick from this list, but these numbers amount to how many you can get. So the red ones take away from your trait points, and then your green ones give you additional trait points. So for example, I can say my people are very adaptive, but now I'm at 0. Now if I choose something else like talented, now I get to the negative, and then I cannot continue. So let's say I would say that they're slow breeders, and now I've used one of my 2 trait points, and now I have additional 2 more points to choose something I like. So for example, we can go with they're very intelligent. Right? So now I go down. Now I can choose one more negative I like, or I can continue, which is not a big issue. I can say that they are not interested in immigration, and then we can choose one more thing that they would be loving. They're enduring. And now that I've made it even, again, you don't have to go all the way to 0, 0, but you can choose what you like. Next section is your habitable planets. So you can over here name your home world. It can choose a star for you. You can choose which kind of system you like. If you're a solar system person, you can, right? Scattering. You can always leave it at random. I like to. And then based on what kind of planet your people like. So you could go with continental worlds. You can go with ocean worlds, right? And basically this would set up to the game that inside the galaxy, which kind of planet your people are more habitable on. Habitable in the meaning they're more likely to want to live on that planet. City appearance, pretty straightforward. It's not a big deal. It's just for the background cosmetic. If you like mammalian, humanoids, whichever you like, choose what you like. Again, if they're like this, it means that you just don't have the DLC for them, so don't have to worry about them. Again, they really don't matter. It's just about choosing what looks good in the moment. Origins, really, really great thing. Came in with the Federation's DLC. Origins, very straightforward. Again, some of these origins you might not have, like I do. These two I don't have due to not having the DLC. And it's very straightforward. You can read over these. Prosperous Reunification, for example, the effect that it gives you additional 4 population. So you're 4 people, and gives you additional 2 districts. And again, you can look it through some of these, like for example, with the Mechanist, it gives you requirements and some degree of a materialist, which I would suggest in this section. If you want to do that, you need to have those kind of things. So I would say, I don't know why Stellaris did this. They should have flipped this around and made government and ethics first. But you can choose what you want. I always suggest, unless you're doing some sort of pop build, just stick with Prosperous Unification. Always pretty good to get you a nice head start in the beginning. Now this one's a very big one. It's your government and ethics. Now you can see that there's 3 sections here. Ethics, authority, and civics. So we'll go over each one of them very straightforward. Now your ethics, you have 3 ethic points. These ethic points decide for you what you should be choosing for your empire. So for example, well, before the example, you want to look at these colors here firstly. You see that you have the blue colors, and then you have these orangish, reddish, whatever color you want it to be color. And these each are fanatics, which means that they're really interested in that sort of thing. And then the blue ones are just like, yeah, we're interested in them. Fanatics cost 2 points, while the blue ones cost 1 point. Now, if you look over these, if you hover over them, they give you a certain buff or certain thing that could help you benefit your empire. And so you'd want to choose those things. So a lot of the times you want to look at these things. So for example, a fanatic xenophobe. It gives you sort of your policies you can use, so you can purge aliens, you can enslave aliens, and those kind of things, right? But then it also gives you an empire modifier. Star-based influence costs a minus 40%, and growth speed plus 20%. So these are just some things you want to take a look. Now, obviously, these numbers make no sense right now, but when we get into the game a little bit more, it would make a little bit more sense that way. So you choose what you want. I always like to suggest you choose one major, one of these fanatics, and then one minor. But if you want to choose 3 of them, you can. That kind of stuff. So choose what you like. I'm going to go with a fanatic materialist and a militarist. That way I can get my kind of stuff. Authority. Authority is a great one. Now, in the base game, you only get these 4. You get the democratic, oligarchic, dictatorial, and imperial. The hive mind and machine intelligence comes with this one comes with the Utopia DLC, and then this one comes with the machine intelligence, the synthetic dawn story pack, and then the last one's a corporate one. So yeah, in this game you can become a corporation, or you can become an awakened sentient robotic empire, or you can be a hive mind. Now, the hive mind and the machine intelligence, you're going to need the Gestalt consciousness, which means that you can only choose the Gestalt consciousness. See? And that means I can only choose these 2 authorities. Right? But if you choose any of these other ones, it allows you to be who you want to be and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Again, one thing you want to find interesting here, the Democratic, they have these elections every 10 years. Honestly, in this game, elections really don't matter. It's not like it's going to kick you out of power like how games like Tropico or other games do. You'll still be the player no matter what. It's just your leader gives you certain buffs that would benefit your empire. Only thing you want to know is see the differences. If you do your empire modifiers, just different. Just what you like. That kind of stuff. Choose what you want. In my case, I'll choose and say I'm Imperial. And then it gives me an additional edict capacity, which again, we'll talk about down the road again. The civics, third section. Civics are very interesting. Now, again, this is where you're going to have to go and read into what you really want. Everything matters in the game. And a lot of these numbers, when you read them, don't make any sense. And I understand that. It makes sense. So just looking into what you really think would be beneficial. I would suggest Diplomatic Corps. Those are really great. If you're really interested in the militaristic thing, because I am a militarist. Now remember, depending on the ethics I choose, my civics change. So for example, we scroll all the way to the bottom. See, like, say, for example, a citizen service, right? If I had a democratic authority, then I would be able to use that, and that kind of stuff. Again, you can use what you like. I'm going to put distinguish the animal tree so that I can do that. And now again, right, my trait points allows me to choose which I want and which are worth which one. Pretty straightforward, yeah? Moving on to our next one, advisor voice. Honestly, you could choose based by government. Again, advisor voice doesn't matter. When you get into the game, if you don't like what you like, you can choose what you want. Always use the original one. It's really great. You can hear which one.
I may be an artificial intelligence, but I share your enthusiasm for seeking out fellow organic intelligences among the stars.
So you can hear what kind of sounds or what kind of voices these people have. You can choose which one you like. These are the advisors that are going to come up telling you, hey, you've researched the system. Hey, you researched this technology. Hey, you're under attack. So those are kind of the things you want to be listening for. Once in a while, you think they sound cool. Like my favorite one is the worker.
The springs of cooperation flow most abundant. Those who need will receive.
Some real Soviet Union vibes.
Will make wonders.
So yeah, just choose which one is more interested for you. If you don't like which one you like, you could change it in the game. Empire name, pretty straightforward. You can name it whatever you like. Again, if you don't think of any name, you can click the randomize button. Look at that, there's your name. Pretty straightforward. Next, flag. Again, straightforward. You choose the kind of emblem you like. You can choose your colors, primary, secondary, and then you can change your background to whichever you like, whichever seems the most interesting to you. And yeah, you can look through all the different kinds of designs that would benefit you, which you would enjoy, that kind of stuff. Ship appearance. Now, straightforward. Some of these ships come in DLCs like this one, and this one comes from DLCs. The Imperial ship time comes with a brand new Nemesis DLC. The humanoid ships come with the new humanoid DLC. So you can choose your ships to the degree that you like. Again, these are all signed ships if I'm correct, so you really can't tell unless you get in the game. But honestly, if you're not zooming in on the ships, not a big deal. You can look through which one you like. Choose which one you like. Our last section is our ruler. Again, really doesn't matter. You can choose what kind of person you want. You can choose their name, choose their title, choose their overlord name. You can change their colors, hairstyles you can change if they have hair, clothes if you don't like their clothes, the room that they're in to make the background look good. And that basically walks you through the Empire. And then at the end, it gives you this full-on overview of your Empire. If you have a description in there, it would give you a nice description. And when you're done, you click the save button. Right? It'll say it's successfully saved. And then you can click done and continue, and it would bring you to here, which we will go over in the next episode. Hopefully this information helped you out. I understand that there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff that I said. If you have any questions, please put it down in the comments. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Take care.